We are not participating in the live seeding project, but still we managed to work with organic heterogeneous material in Denmark. You can take the next slide, please. So I'm a plant breeder. I mainly work with cereals, but I also have other crops like legumes and other minor crops. So I'm a plant breeder in Denmark, and trying to solve these practical issues of marketing organic heterogeneous material. So some of the problems we face is not only the practical things that Isabel talked about, but also the financing problems. What we see in the normal seed system is that this normal funding for plant breeding based on a flat rate. First of all, when you apply for a variety approval, there's a flat rate administration which will favor large-scale markets. The bigger the production is, the lower the price per produced unit will be. And that is a problem for organic plant breeding, since we are breeding for small productions, since unfortunately organic farming is still small. So therefore, most plant breeding is more or less based on project funding, because the normal royalty-based financing system, where you pay a royalty per produced unit, is also favoring large-scale markets, and therefore we need more or less a prepayment system, which, for example, project-based funding, because in that way we can target desired things that we want to develop. So therefore, at the moment, there are no variety protection. We cannot claim royalty for organic heterogeneous material, but that's really not the main problem, because the market is still very small, and therefore there will be very little return from variety protection if we use the same royalty-based system than conventional varieties. Can you take the next, please? So therefore, in organic plant breeding, and in particular with organic heterogeneous material, we need some other funding system where not only the farmer is paying for the seed, but the whole food chain. That could be public support, or it could be a food chain based return system. So not only the farmers, but also the bakers and millers and whoever is using the varieties are also included in the funding of the plant breeding. The next, please. And so based on this idea, in Denmark we have developed the organization Landsorden, which was established a few years ago, where we include farmers and millers and bakers. It's mainly the farmers and millers that are contributing, but also other companies can contribute. So they will pay per unit that they produce, per hectare, or per ton of flour that they're producing in the mill or whatever. And the fee will then be returned to the breeders, which is at the moment mainly me, but there are also other breeders contributing to Landsorden. And Landsorden will then organize the production and claim the fees. Can you take the next one? So Landsorten is not a normal seed seed company. It's since Landsorten in itself is not producing seed. It is the farmers that produces the seed, and then Landsorten is just organizing, planning the production, and helping farmers who want seed. Say if you are a member of Landsorten, you can ask Landsorten, where can I get this and this seed, and we will then tell them this farmer in your area is producing the seed. So we are more or less just a dating bureau for seed savers, so we can tell where is the production. And but still the Landsorten has the right to use these variety, and we can only, and you need to be a member of the organization in order to produce the seed, in order to get help from Landsorten. It is mainly organic heterogeneous material, but we also have conservation variety, but no commercial varieties are included in the system. We have certified some organic heterogeneous material and land races, but we have managed to make a good deal with the authorities, so that we inform them whatever we do, but we and they agree that if it is a very small production, if it's only a few hectares that are grown, then we don't need to register the varieties, because it will be a lot of administration for them and for us. So as long as they are confident that we are not making mass production, then we can actually do some minor productions without certifying it. And we in this minor production, we use the exception in the seed legislation, Article 3, where you can have production for trials. So if it is very small, we define it as a trial production, and in that way it will be exempted from the seed legislation. Can you take the next, please? So we have a different organic heterogeneous material in production. These are just some of the examples, and you say the first two ones, Maya, Toba, and popcorn, they are registered, officially registered, and we have producers making these varieties, whereas the other ones are in so small production that we have agreed with the authorities that it is not needed to have them registered. The next one, please. The way that I produce the organic heterogeneous materials is main. We have in the organic legislation, there is this definition of how to make the protocols to make organic heterogeneous material, and we don't use the real hardcore composite cross populations. What I do is I make pure line selections, more or less as in normal breeding programs for wheat, and then bulk some of the breeding lines. So it is more or less a mixture of breeding lines. So technically it will be a variety mixture. We may include more varieties or breeding lines than in normal variety mixtures. But technically it is a mixture of pure line breeding lines. I've done that in order to increase baking quality and specific resistance genes in the material. And next one, please. Yeah, so we have these two officially approved populations, Maya, Toba, and popcorn, and we grow roughly 500 hectares of these populations. We started a few years ago, so it's still in multiplication, so the area is increasing every year. But at the moment it's about 500 hectares, so it's still very small. With the authorities, we have a very good communication with the authorities. I think they have been very supportive. They were not in the start. It has taken 15 years of lobbying to convince them that this is a good idea, but now they are actually quite positive. So we have very confident communication with them, and that has also been, that is part of the success, I would say, that they agree that niche productions is needed in order to support innovation in the food industry, and we try to provide that. And next one, please. So this is the end of the presentation. I would say that because we cannot have variety protection of organic heterogeneous material, and because the production is still so small, that we really need an alternative funding system, the financing system. How can we fund the breeding process of the organic heterogeneous material? We have made this organization way of doing it. I think it works as long as the production is small. But once it increases, I don't think we can maintain the membership system. So in that way, we may need some other system. But on the other hand, if the production is big, then we can more or less go into a normal system where we claim the fees on the seed itself once it is sold. And we also have problems in keeping the purity of the seed as long as we have it only on farmers' production. So I think in future we will need a mixture of farm production and a controlled production at the seed station to make sure that we maintain the purity. I mean, I don't mind too much that the organic heterogeneous material develop, but we should still maintain the characters that we want, and we don't want wheat to be polluted by oat or rye or anything else. So therefore, I think we need to improve the maintenance at some kind of breeding station. And I think that is the last slide. You can see if this is the last slide. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Anders. We had one question in the chat. If you can answer that quickly or orally, or you write the answer in the chat back, that what you call exactly certified organic heterogeneous material and who certifies what?
Yeah, so certification is really a wrong word, because it's not certified seed. It is registered seed. That means it is registered at the Danish authorities, and they are controlled in the production. So they or someone else come and check the fields and check the labeling of the packaging. So it is under official production.
Thank you very much. And then